So in this segment, we're going to talk about the most embarrassing article I think I've read in the Express, and that is a very, very high bar in terms of embarrassment. So Brexit Britain to turbocharge towards securing US trade deal victory with major move. I have no idea what I'm going to title this because I've read through this article and it's just shameful, to be honest. So Britain is to take a major step towards a US trade deal with International Trade Secretary Anne-Marie Trevelyan, I can't pronounce her second name, so we'll just call it Anne-Marie, holding talks with her US counterpart this week. So that had been around the 20th of March. And the simple fact is, even the Mail have accepted that, the US trade deal won't happen. The US have said, it's not worth it. Essentially, years and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears working on after, a trade deal. It's not worth it. The US are getting rid of the tariffs on steel, which they did so for the EU at the start of the year, which is good. But it's going to take a while for, the Americans start buying UK steel again, considering that these things would be brought en masse and they would have deals now with EU countries because the tariffs were gone from EU countries quicker than us. So this is good, but, the Americans essentially saying a trade deal won't happen. UK hopes of a swift transatlantic post-Brexit trade deal dealt a blow, as Biden's commerce chief says it's not worth spending years and a lot of blood and sweat and tears working on. So essentially the Americans have said it's not worth it. There is another article, so you have Richard Neal saying that the US will not entertain UK trade deal that risks the Good Friday Agreement. So essentially saying until the UK sorted out the situation in Northern Ireland, there's no trade deal for you. And, he's very influential. He's on one of the trade committees for the Americans. So he's going to have a massively influential say over any trade deals. And we'll talk about that when we go through this article, which we'll do in a separate video because I don't want these videos to go on for like half an hour, even though some do. So you might be wondering, what is this massive thing that the UK have done to boost trade talks? What am I talking about in terms of embarrassment? It's shocking. So on Monday, at the time, Miss Anne-Marie will attend the first of a new series of transatlantic dialogues aimed at deepening our already thriving £200 billion relationship with the United States. So we already do a lot of trade with the Yanks. Should I say Yanks? Is that derogatory? Americans? She'll be a guest at a 2-day event in Baltimore. So this big move, this massive thing the Express are making out this to be, is a guest at a 2-day event in Baltimore, Maryland. Which, the trade decisions won't be made in Maryland, they'll be made in District of Columbia, Washington, D.C. But the simple fact is she's going to be a guest at an event. That's this big thing that the Express have made out to be. That's embarrassing. With their American counterpart, US Trade Representative Catherine Tai, as part of a joint UK-US dialogue on the future of Atlantic trade. So her big thing is she's going to be a guest at an event talking about the future of transatlantic trade. That's great, Express. This is just terrible, to be honest. They're this desperate. The event brings together politicians, senior officials, trade unionists, businesses, and civil society figures from both sides to discuss how the UK and US can work together to deepen our trade relationship. So no talk of an actual trade deal or bilateral deals. This is just kind of more like, how can we improve things, rather than we will improve things, or how will we improve things, if that makes sense. Ahead of the event, Anne-Marie said the US is our closest and most important economic ally, and this visit is a golden opportunity to turbocharge our thriving trade and investment talks, even though the Americans have been consistent in their statements that there will be no UK-US deal even before 2030, which is about 8 years away. Madness. Absolute madness. I'll have to check some of these out at some point, but the visit and high-level trade talks accompany UK efforts to pursue a series of trade-level agreements with individual US states that will make it easier and cheaper for UK and US businesses to work together. Again, individual US states would have some say over regulations within their states. However, the vast majority of that kind of stuff would be done in Washington. And, when it comes to trade deals, it's not governors that deal with them, it's congresspeople, it's senators. And trying to do individual deals with the US states is just ludicrous. So this big win is just being a guest at an event. That's it. US-owned businesses support 1.48 million UK jobs in 2019, with 60% outside London and Southeast England, according to the Department for International Trade. It is hoped that the smaller deals will pave way to a massive US-UK trade agreement. That's going to have to go through Congress and the President, and Joe Biden, when he was asked for a statement with the EU, a statement for the BBC, said, "I'm Irish, don't forget." And I don't know who the next president will be. I don't think it will be Joe Biden. I think he's too old. It could be Kamala Harris. It could be the Donald. But if it's the Donald, then he's going to pants us in any trade negotiations. According to the Department for International Trade, I mean, why did you write it out in abbreviation here and fully here? I don't know. States Washington State alone imported £512 million worth of goods from UK businesses and UK companies. They talk about, how big California is, etc. But the thing is, California might have a bigger GDP than France, but California is also a lot further away than France, very far away. The Express don't understand geography, but no Brexiteers do. But the simple fact is, it's just ridiculous that, their big trade win is Anne-Marie is at a guest at an event. That's their big trade win. Like, she's going to be talking to people. But again, it won't be Biden's trade secretary that will deal with the vast majority of, the handling of the trade deal. It would be the people in Congress. It's going to be people like Richard Neal, who's saying, no, it's not going to happen. But this is just more embarrassing stuff from the Express. What more can you say? It's just shocking that they're still writing this basic propaganda. It's boring. I think you could ask why I cover this stuff, but this is the stuff they're feeding to Brexiteers, that a US trade deal just around the corner. We're turbocharging towards it. The EU don't have a trade deal with the Americans, but we can. American states have huge GDP, so we can do loads of trade with them. Who needs the EU? Blah blah blah. When they don't understand geography and the importance of that in trade. But anyways, I'm gonna leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.